after a fitful sleep. Sherman would just be
No. Mr. Reagan, President over here. Hi.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
What's the problem today, Mr. President?
I
Right
think
here, buddy. There you go. All right. So what's wrong,
sir? Sir.
Yes.
It seems I've
Johnson, Large Johnson.
Large Johnson. Yes. What a great guy. America. Yes. I seem to have forgotten most of my history because of what? Wait, what? Where am I?
You're in America, sir. Well, you know what? How about I just run you through U.S. history?
Thank you, sir.
All right. I'll get us started, and my assistant Mahmoud over here will run with it afterwards. All right. So let's start off right where we begin. Yes, start where we begin. Let me just shut this door real quick. All right. Okay. So we started off in Jamestown, established in 1607, a joint stock company from England. First of its kind that didn't appear. Roanoke!
1.
And then, April showers brought the Mayflower with pilgrims and the historic Mayflower Compact. Mr. President, are you listening?
This is America!
Which
2.
outlined the colony's government. Alright. Then, the First Great Awakening was an intense religious revival led by George Whitefield and Jonathan Edwards in the 1730s. It pushed back the Enlightenment and repressed intellectual thinking.
3.
England's colonies believed in mercantilism, which was trying to help your mother country economically. In return for their economic loyalty, British officers overlooked petty American violations and a practice known as salutary neglect.
God bless those
4.
guys.
After the French and Indian War, which was fought over control of the Ohio Valley, Britain levied several taxes, such as the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts, to help pay for the war. These taxes led to anger among colonists and cries of "no taxation without representation" from Patrick Henry. 5! The anger boiled over into the Boston Massacre, where Crispus Attucks and 4 other men were killed in a riot with British soldiers. 6!
Those damn
All of this tension led to the American Revolution, which
USA,
America won
USA,
with the help of France. 7! The Articles of Confederation established a weak central government without the power to tax. 8! In Shays' Rebellion, Western Massachusetts farmers revolted after not receiving their war pensions. This showed how weak the Articles of Confederation made the federal government. 9. The Constitution, which was ratified in 1788, established a strong federal government that endures to this day. George Washington became the first president of this great nation, Mr. Reagan.
He's basically Jesus.
10. The Louisiana Purchase, which was completed in 1803, greatly increased America's size. I love size. That's why my name's Large Johnson. This foreshadowed manifest destiny. America was, and now we're on to number 12. In 1803, Federalist Supreme Court Justice John Marshall's decision in Marbury. You got a question, sir?
I have a question, Mr. Johnson. Am I supposed to be taking this down?
Now, just listen, all right? You'll absorb it that way, all right? Synthesis, right? Synthesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, am I the president?
Not anymore, no, sir. No, you're not fit to be the president.
Why?
You're actually dead, Mr. Reagan. This is actually a parody of sorts. Now, in 1803, John Marshall, Marbury versus Madison, established the idea of judicial review, which gives the Supreme Court the power to determine the constitutionality of laws. That was 12. Now, number 13, we won the War of 1812 and showed England who was boss once and for all. That was 13. Andrew Jackson became president and popularized the spoils system, which is when a politician hires all of this. Oh, God, when he hires all of his allies. Stop burping, Mr. Reagan. You're distracting me.
Sorry, sir.
Now, Andrew Jackson also killed the National Bank and moved Native Americans west of the Mississippi River in his Indian Removal Act, which led to the Trail of Tears. Now, number 15. Number 15. The Industrial Revolution raged on in the early 19th century, notably in Lowell, Massachusetts, with the help of the power looms inventions in 1813. That was 15. Mahmoud! Take it away, Mahmoud!
Large Johnson.
Yes.
Let me take it from there.
Alright, well, Large Johnson's just gonna take a seat, and Mahmoud's gonna read.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, of course.
He's done a great service to this
Mr.
honorable
Johnson
country.
loves to please. Alright.
Number 16.
In 1848, the Seneca Falls Convention was the very first women's rights convention. This was the first step towards women's suffrage.
That was 16.
The Missouri Compromise and the Kansas-Nebraska Act were both attempts to solve the issue of slavery in America. The Missouri Compromise was ruled unconstitutional, and the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which aimed for popular sovereignty to determine whether or not a territory would have slaves, led to Bleeding Kansas.
That was 17.
The South, under John C. Calhoun's leadership, seceded after Lincoln's election, sparking the Civil War. The Union won. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, and Lincoln was assassinated by John
When I
Wilkes.
said
That was
George
18.
Washington was like Jesus, Abe Lincoln was the third coming of Christ.
All right. Keep going, Mahmoud.
Thank you, Mr. McMahooda.
After the Civil War came Reconstruction. Southern President Andrew Johnson wanted to be soft on the South, but radical Republicans such as Thaddeus Stevens were harsh on the South, and the Reconstruction era led to the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, all of which advanced African American rights.
That was number 19.
After the military left the South, home rule was brought back, which led to the establishment of so-called black codes, which
repressed. Mahmoud. Did you learn anything in phonics school, Mahmoud? Which repressed the black community. That was number 20. Keep going, Mahmoud.